You are listening to Robert Hodge, and we are now beginning today's episode of Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on FM 93.5 The Berg and WMBG AM 740. Today is a very special day. As you know, we are all Christmas format for these 2 weeks up to Christmas, and Super Sound Showcase is following tradition. We're going to have a Christmas special, if you will, and it is special because honest to heaven, I'm excited about my guest today. My guest is one of my very favorite musicians, and he is on the scene locally. He's all over the Hampton Roads and the South Side. Quite a renowned reputation you have, in my opinion, and esteemed by other musicians, which I think is the real mark of true talent, because when the real musicians around the area sing your praises, then you really got something going on. And on my list of guests for this Christmas season, I couldn't be happier that he said yes. So I want to introduce you. He's been here in various combinations before, but today it's just he and I, and we're going at it. This is my friend Paul Todd. Welcome, buddy.
How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing great because we're here and it's Christmas, and this is an early Christmas for me. This is my present. I want great music from you.
I do what I can.
And in fact, here's the funny thing. When I told him that it was going to be our Christmas show, he came with two great Christmas tunes and one surprise, which I'm the king of rationalization. I can tie anything together. And I've decided that because this actually is from a film that has the word green in it, that will relate it to Christmas, first of all, that way. And if some people fault me for that and tell me it's flimsy, then I'm just going to say that it is such an outrageous performance that he's about to deliver, because we just did the sound check, that all I can say is it's Christmas by virtue of the fact that this is what I want desperately for Christmas. So there we are. We've set it up. So tell us, now that I've sort of given it away a little bit, what is it that you're bringing us today?
So the first song is my musical tribute to Mr. Bruce Lee, who is one of my biggest musical influences. Bruce said, absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own. I think that lends itself really well
Indeed.
to music. Jerry Reed said it's all about the meat, and so that's another sort of like thing that goes in with that, and you get the basis and the underpinnings, and then you just kind of go from there. And so the theme to the Green Hornet television show
Interesting.
is the first one. It's composed by Al Hirt, which he stole from Flight of the Bumblebee. You'll hear it.
So borrowing from other musicians is not a new thing.
Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own, and that's what he did. And I think it sums up, the piece of music sums up that philosophy, Bruce Lee's philosophy, pretty well.
But on the same token, Liberace once told me, he goes, if you're trying to decide what to play and you're not quite sure of what is the best representation of a genre, he goes, take the popular parts, take the parts that the audience know, put them all together in a medley and play them as fast as humanly possible. Similar advice.
That sounds about right.
And what else? What are the Christmas tunes you brought us?
I'm going to reluctantly sing, I guess, Blue Christmas, and then I also, the Ukrainian Christmas carol, Carol of the Bells.
I love that. And in fact, I had an interview just the other day with a group called Spencer's Own that is 5 brothers in Nashville, actually. And they have invented a 5-part harmony a cappella arrangement of that. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so I love that song. It's great. Well, that's great. Now let's back up and let's talk about your music for a little while, because it's a rare thing sometimes when I happen on you playing somewhere in Williamsburg, and I get all excited and I can always tell. You remember the last time I saw you, I was crossing the parking lot after dinner at La Yaca, and you were playing outside at the Mexican restaurant behind it. Mm-hmm. And I heard that guitar. I thought, I know who that is. I have to go right over here right now, because you are distinctive in your style. And I want to know, you're a second-generation musician. Your father was pretty serious as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dad worked around town with a duo called Data for a long time. Mm-hmm. Him and Larry Wilson. Larry Wilson's son, Brandon.
I remember Larry, yeah.
Brandon Wilson is still very active on the scene.
Right.
Dad still plays in a band called the Beach Nuts on the South Side.
Nice.
They specialize in beach music, top 40 rock and roll type stuff.
I'd like to see the two of you together. I really like that.
Yeah, we play. I mean, we pick together quite often.
Wow. Well, let me know when that's going to happen, because I'd like to see that and tell everybody about it as well.
Absolutely.
But where can people, when they fall in love with your music today, where can they go and see you?
So coming up, the 21st at Center Street, I'll be with Kevin Payne and John Wade, one of the owners of Two Drummers Smokehouse, and we're gonna do
Son of Cabot Wade.
Son of Cabot Wade, also local musician for the Smith Wade band.
Right.
And Kevin Payne's dad is bass player Doc Robin Band, I think.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I know him from Billy Joe Trio, but I didn't realize that his dad was a musician.
Yes, father's also a musician. So we're going to be doing some Christmas stuff, some experimental stuff that night.
Right.
As a trio. And then the next day, the 22nd, I'll be at Retro Daddy-O from 2 to 4 p.m. And we've got a special event that night as well. And so it's just going to be a really interesting weekend. So
will you be performing that night as well?
I will be in attendance that night at the special
but
event.
Not musical.
No, I'll be helping with the door and helping to run the shop with Jen. But
okay.
that day I will be performing from 2 to 4. And I tell you, it's a great place to buy Christmas gifts, man.
Well, it is. In fact, she always has such unusual merchandise.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Good times. I love that place. I love Jen. She's great.
Amen. All right, so let's talk about your holidays. Let's talk about Christmas. What is it that's your big family tradition? Because I know you have daughters.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah?
So Christmas Eve is the family tradition on my side of the family.
For mine as well.
Yeah, nobody cares about Christmas morning, really. We all get together on Christmas Eve, and we eat, and we open presents, and we tell jokes, and we hang out, and it's just a lot of fun, and then we go home, and that's it. I mean, if Christmas morning is there, and it was like, okay. Yeah. It was fun when my daughters were little, Christmas morning.
How old are they now?
Layla is 15. She's a freshman at the Governor's School for the Arts.
Awesome.
Callaway is 10. Mm-hmm. She's vice president of the SCA at her elementary school. They are
politically minded, just like Daddy.
They are absolutely amazing creatures, and they are going
I've met
to be.
them. Yeah, I remember.
I think strong women.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
Oh, thank you.
I know you're going to raise responsible citizens and people who probably are multi-talented in many ways. Now, one of them is an accomplished artist, right?
Layla, yes, she is at Governor's School for the Arts specifically because of her multimedia artwork, her drawing specifically. She has her artwork on display, and some of it for sale at Retro Daddy-O at the moment.
Oh wow! I didn't realize.
Most of her pop art stuff. She just got this one really great drawing of Audrey Hepburn that she did when we were driving. Her little sister Callaway, my youngest, is obsessed with Audrey. Absolutely obsessed, because Audrey Hepburn was amazing.
Sure.
And so we were driving from Virginia Beach to Williamsburg after I picked them up a couple of weeks ago, and Layla just sat there with her tablet and drew Audrey Hepburn with the tiara and the cigarette and the little cat on her shoulder.
From Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's fantastic. And so that's on the wall for sale at Retro Daddy-O. And Layla is quite accomplished. I'm excited to see what she's going to do in the years to come.
Well, ladies, we wish you a Merry Christmas and the best to you, and particularly in the pursuit at the Governor's School. That's such a marvelous place, and I'm so happy she got. I remember how excited you were when she got in.
Yes.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
We still talk about it all the time. She's still very excited that The Flash went there. We still talk about that. So the kid that stars in the TV show, Grant Gustin, who's the Flash on TV, he went there, and she's still very excited about that.
Well, the very interesting debate that goes on around musicians and in our inner circles is always, do you love Christmas or do you hate Christmas? Because the music, is somewhat limited, it's somewhat repetitive, but I love it. I love to pull it out every year. I get excited when I put it all back in rotation. How do you really feel about this stuff? Do you like it?
It's a mixed bag as far as being a musician and having to relearn this stuff every year.
Yeah.
It gets a little tedious, but
you're not really relearning it. You're just polishing it up for last season.
I mean, I don't practice it, so I have to get the charts out and go. But you're right. I'm reintroducing it. As far as Christmas music is concerned, though, I personally don't think that there is another genre or subgenre of music that contains as much information and educational content as Christmas music, because you go from Elvis Presley to Tchaikovsky.
Sure.
And so you have this wide range of things that you can learn and study, and they just it's it might not be for everybody, and I don't want to listen to it year round, except maybe Bad Religion's Christmas Songs, which is one of the best Christmas albums ever. But still, thinking on it and listening to it, you've got jazz and you've got classical, you've got R&B, you've got, Christmas in Hollis, which is one of my favorite songs by Run DMC. It's very eclectic, and I think it's great. I like listening to Christmas music. I love Christmas music.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he is one of my favorite guests, because I always count on you for a perspective that nobody else will give me. And I love that answer. That's brilliant. It really is. You think in a way that is just so outside of the box that I'm not sure you knew there was a box at any point.
I
love that.
I just like Christmas music.
You and me both. Well, we're kindred on that. We are going to take just a few moments of commercials, and then we are going to come back. We are going to continue streaming live if you happen to be watching us on Facebook at the moment. And I remind you that tomorrow there will be a wonderful video shot in the studio today that Riley will edit and put it up tomorrow on WMBGradio.com, as well as YouTube and About the Berg, and anywhere else that Paul might decide that he wants to post it, because by all means, this is half done to promote you and your wonderful music and your great talent. So we will be right back after these messages. Sound like Merv Griffin. We are back with Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on FM 93.5 The Berg and WMBG AM 740. I'm your host, Robert Hodge, and our guest today is Paul Todd,
Hello.
An amazing guitarist. I think he's a great singer, although he debates that with me every time I ask him to sing. But I love all the work that you do with your various bands and ensembles that you work with. But when I catch you solo, that's my favorite time, because I don't know what's coming next, but I know there's a motivation for why it's next, and you always win an audience over just by the integrity of your music. And that said, I think those are important qualities that I see when you're on stage that I don't see everywhere I go. So you stand out.
Thank
and
you. I appreciate
you
that.
are a part. And this is, just reiterate for him what you're about to play, and then y'all better sit down, because if you're watching, and in fact, if you're just on the radio, I encourage you to turn on Facebook on the WMBG radio page right now and see this live, because you're not going to believe what his fingers are going to do to this guitar. All right, there's the setup.
All right, so yeah, this is the theme to the Green Hornet, my musical tribute
So
to
incredible.
to Bruce Lee. All set?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
even know what to say to you. That just defies explanation that you're able to do that so perfectly articulated and at that speed. And, you know, as a pianist, I know the demands of something that moves along that quickly and really demands that kind of precision. But I almost think that it's even harder for you to clearly articulate because, you know, my notes are, as long as I'm on the right key, you know, and my intonation is not bad. But so much of that depends on your attack on those strings with your fingers directly that I just marvel at what you do.
Thank you.
It's so complex.
I do. I was just remarking the other day. I was sitting down at the piano and I was I was playing around with Autumn Leaves, and I was looking at the chord chart. You know, it's one sharp, and I'm like, oh, well, there's one sharp. Well, isn't that nice? You just all of your accidentals are just right there. There. Oh, look, one sharp, there it is. Whereas with this, it's just who knows where it is or what.
Oh my God, it's all chromatic halftones and just craziness, and I don't know how. And you're sliding up and down. I'm not enough of a guitarist, my basic skills, but I'm not enough to understand really behind some of the moves that you make, and it just blows my mind to watch you do that.
It's all based on the C major scale. I mean, even like you know, this chromatic. It's really you know, that chromaticism.
Sure. Right.
You know, like that's what.
At that speed is just amazing. You are so accomplished, and I'm just so proud that you're my friend. Because honestly, I love your talent.
I appreciate that. There's always more work to do, though. You know.
Well, and I know that about you too. You're never going to be satisfied to sit on your laurels like a lot of people do, because you are always moving ahead, and that's one reason I think we all look to you for a little bit of inspiration.
Thank you.
So, what's next?
But yeah, this is I'm gonna do this with you know, the last one I pre-recorded the backing track of this one, you know, the rhythm guitar on it. This one I'm gonna do the rhythm guitar first, and it's a short round, so you just have to put up with me for a couple of
looping
seconds.
I marvel at looping because it's like building a house of cards, and one little note can throw it all down. So I think this is brilliant. I really do.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Lay it on me. Wow, wow, wow. You know what? There's so many things going on in that piece, and that beautiful round that it creates, the canon almost. It's so beautiful the way it's composed, but you bring it out so distinctively in separate sections that I really do marvel at that technique.
Thank you. I did it once
Marvelous.
with I did a finger style one time, and
Yeah?
there's just a lot of moving parts in it, and it doesn't seem to have as much punch.
Right.
Because usually there's a whole chorus singing it, or the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
There's like two heavy metal guitar players just
Right.
shredding through it, or you've actually got a
Right.
full symphony. It's just-
Right. So Paul actually has a private engagement tonight. It's private, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
He's got a private party tonight that unfortunately we're not invited to see, but I do have a responsibility to get him there on time. So we're running a little short. Let's bring in Blue Christmas.
All right.
And then we'll say a hasty goodbye because I've got to get him out the door, and I promised. But I am having the time of my life to have you here, and thank you for
Thanks
being
for
a part
having
of our Christmas on the
Thanks for having
station.
me. I appreciate it, Robert. Don't forget to come out to see me and John and Kevin on
Yeah, I'll
Center
try.
Street on the 21st, and out at Retro Daddy-O from 2 to 4 on the 22nd.
That will be nice. I'll be pulling my hair out though because I've got a big Christmas concert that night. So 2 to 4, I'll be in a sound check, probably wishing I could do something other than what I'm doing. But
is what it
we'll
is.
figure it out. But we'll
Welcome
see you
musician,
again
you gotta do
soon.
what you gotta do.
All right, let's hear it, Wild Man.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. And you'll be doing alright with your Christmas white, but I have a blue Christmas. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas white, but I have a blue, 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 blue Christmas.
All right. A Blue Christmas from Paul Todd. And I've had a great time. I know that you've enjoyed this music. Paul, just give us a quick reference online. Where can they find more information about you and your music and your gigs?
Well, I tell you, at the moment, the best place to check right now is hootandannie.net. HOOTANDANNIE.net. Hootanannie.net. That'll take you to Hootanannie's YouTube page, and you can
Okay.
look for Hootanannie on Facebook. I personally do not have the social medias, just because it's better for my mental health not to.
Well, there's something that I admire about an unlisted musician. I like that. It shows a certain spirit and spunk that you just can make it no matter what happens, whether they know about it or not.
Do my best.
And you always come through very well and with flying colors. So we are going to let you go. And thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to Super Sound Showcase. It is always a pleasure to bring the talent on to the radio. And Culture Fix, our friends Steve and Jen and Shirley, thank you so much for sponsorship of the show and for making this a reality for us. And to you, the listeners, I couldn't do it without you.